there's going to be the lucha libre going on here in Cancun.
Classic wrestling bouts, the 29th and the 30th of April at the Bull Ring, which is the home of that sport as well. So great venues, great atmosphere over there.
Exactly. And speaking of sports and speaking of live, we are right now in the thick of the NBA playoffs, and it is just as exciting as everyone had expected. You got the 76ers with Joel Embiid back on the court, wearing his mask, and just cheering them up. They're going to go to the next round. They've already passed the first. And there's this thing of these international players that are also on the...
This is what's really key because, you know, ties into a lot of what we talk about on the show. You know, the international relationship that we enjoy here as Mexico as the hub of everything. But in sports, you know, in the US, and we've touched on this theme many times, about the presidential decree on traveling into the United States, the Dreamers, you know, the DACA program. But, you know, how I think for sport, how that addresses that particular issue, it's in a really nice way.
It really is, because the dreamer citizen, which is a hot topic right now, is someone who is living in the United States without proper documentation. But it's also someone who was brought in as a kid. And there seems there's all of this, you know, we don't want you here. And but now if you look at the NBA playoffs, there is over 60 international players that have never lived in the United States until recently.
I know. And which countries are the most represented, Gil, in the NBA?
It seems Australia.
Australia.
Yes.
And France.
And France. Yes.
Yeah.
And there are teams that have 7 players, international players, 6 players. It's from 13 different countries. I mean, it's an actual record.
Yeah, in any US sport, there's something, and to go by, I mean, those players as ambassadors, you know, as we've covered, you know, they're not shy about these issues. They're not shy whether it's Colin Kaepernick, for example, you know, they're out there, they're speaking on behalf of the guy in the street, right? Because they are the mouthpiece. And so these NBA players, what it says to me is having this international array on display gives pause for thought, right? Because it's a sport, as usual, that is it's opening the debate, right?
It's opening the debate, but it's the common source that draws everyone together. You can't deny that sports are fun.
Absolutely.
Sports are entertaining.
It's community.
And if it's at a professional level like the NBA, who doesn't like to watch it?
Yeah.
No matter what country you live in, no matter what language you speak, it's a universal communicator. It's that sport that is being played. And you have all of these international players that are the mouthpiece for the normal guy that's living in a tough situation in the United States that do not have this mouthpiece, as you mentioned.
And, you know, sport is about opportunity for everybody, you know, and, you know, as we know that we've been talking about on the show today, sport requires a certain profile of player. You have to invest in them, you have to nurture them, you have to develop them. Now, I would even go as far as saying a lot of these people, these dreamers who are in the United States, have so many talents to be looked at. Maybe it's sports. Maybe, you know, there's a whole realm of possibilities. So you've got to say, people have come from other countries living the American dream. You know, America is a country of immigrants, after all. And up until this point, the philosophy has been as much more embracing. And you're seeing it from an entertainment perspective that if you have that embrace of international stars, week in, week out, it can only add value to the sport.
Indeed, there's this way of communicating in a sense that I wasn't born and raised in this country, but here I am now. And being accepted. Everyone should be accepted. Everyone deserves opportunities. They should be embraced, actually, and encouraged and empowered. And that's what these certain players are doing.